GeoGebra has several tools that we can use to construct circles and related items. I'm going to start by using the circle with center tool. Click a center and how big I want my circle. I can use my arrow tool to adjust the center, adjust the point on the circle, or I can click the circle itself and move it around. There are a few different kinds of arcs I can make on my circle. If I scroll down, in my circle section, I have a semicircle, a circular arc, and a circumcircular arc. If you don't have those, you're going to scroll all the way down and you might have a choice that says more, and then you will have them. A circular arc is going to give me a minor arc. I'll click that. I need to click the center of the circle that I'm working with, and then 2 points for my arc. So right now BC is an arc that is separate from the circle. It's kind of hard to see the difference, so I'm going to click my arrow tool, click on the arc, and I get some choices that allow me to change the color. So I am going to make my arc purple. That makes it a little bit easier to see. I can also adjust the thickness so it's even easier to see. And if I click and move, I can change the size of that arc. I also have a circumcircular arc, and that is what I will use to construct a major arc. Click there, and I just need to click 3 points on the arc or the circle. So I'm going to click here, here, more than halfway around my circle, and end here. And now I have that nice major arc, and I'll go ahead and make that color red. So again, that's a little easier to see, and I can adjust that arc as well. Finally, I might want to make a semicircle. In order to make a semicircle on our circle, first I need to construct a diameter. In order to do that, I'm going to use my line tool. I'm going to click point A, and I am going to click any point on the circle so that it goes through. Now I can put a point on the other end point of my diameter. And if I want it to be a segment, not a line, I can use show hide object, hide the line, and then use my line segment tool to construct HG as my diameter. Now that I have my diameter, I can go back to my circle choices, choose semicircle, and choose H and then G. If I go in that order, it's the top part of the circle. In order to get the other part of the circle, I can just click on them in the opposite order. And again, I have the choice if I want to. I can make that semicircle a different color so it stands out a little bit compared to the other things that I have on my circle, and I can adjust that a little bit as well. One other thing we can do is we have a tangent line tool. It is under my construct menu, tangents. I need to select a point and then the circle. So I want my tangent line to go through point C. So I'm going to click point C, and I'm going to click the circle, and there's my tangent line. And no matter how I change the circle or how I move point C, that line will always intersect the circle at just that one point C. Sometimes we also want to have either a circle that is circumscribed around a polygon or a polygon that's circumscribed around a circle. So I'm going to use my arrow tool, move this out of the way. In order to do a circle that is circumscribed about a polygon, I'm just going to start with a circle. And in order for the circles to be circumscribed around the polygon, I just need all of the polygon's vertices to be on the circle. So I'm going to start my polygon anywhere on the circle. Doesn't matter how many vertices I make, but as long as all of the vertices are on the circle, this circle is circumscribed around the polygon. And if we move our circle or move our points, we can say they stay stuck to the circle. So our polygon stays with the circle circumscribed around it. If we want our polygon to be circumscribed, that means we want the polygon around the outside of the circle. It is easiest to do that with a regular polygon. So I'm going to go down to my polygon choices. I'm going to make a regular polygon. Let's say we want it to have 5 vertices. So there is my regular pentagon. And then we need to do a little bit more work to find where the center of our circle should be. I am going to use my perpendicular line tool for that. So perpendicular line. I'm going to choose any one of my vertices. I'm just going to pick T. I'm going to go straight across and click the opposite side. And then I'm going to do that for another one. So I'm going to click S, straight across, opposite side. Where those two lines intersect is going to be the center of my circle. So I'm going to now grab my circle tool, click my center, and go right out to the edge of my polygon. You can see it kind of snaps to there. And now my polygon is circumscribed around the circle. Every side of the polygon touches the circle at exactly 1 point. And if I change the size of my polygon at all or move it around, you can see it stays circumscribed around the circle. And of course I can go in and I can hide some of my extra points and lines so that I just have the pentagon and the circle.